Pierre Peb Bellocq brought a smile to the faces of generations of racing fans with his work as an Eclipse award-winning cartoon artist. Now, his son Remi Bellocq looks to do the same as a contributing cartoonist for the TDN.
Well, my name is Remi Bellocq. I'm the executive director for BCTC Equine, but I'm also a freelance cartoonist, and it's kind of like the family business. My father is Pierre Peb Bellocq, and he's still bucking and kicking at 95 years old. He came to the U.S. in the early 1950s. We're 5 of us in the family. So I always joke it's kind of, you know, having, if you want to be a stand-up comic, having like a Richard Pryor or Jerry Seinfeld as a parent, because, you know, how can you live up to that? So I've tried to kind of carve out my own style. My father taught me a really good lesson. He said, listen, there's an envelope and you want to push the edge of the envelope. And so I've tried to, in my work, on occasion, kind of take a position and maybe push that envelope a little bit, but always with the idea that, you know, if you get 10 people and 5 of them love it and 5 of them hate it, at least everybody chuckled. I admire what he did for all those years with the Morning Telegraph Racing Form, because, you know, his drawings, I can pull out some of his older drawings and they're still funny today. And so that's kind of what I aspire to do someday. And, you know, we'll do, and hopefully in the TDN, I'll bring a lot of laughter to folks and hopefully not a lot of anger. I started off, grew up in the New York, New Jersey area, born in New York City, and grew up in Queens and then in Hightstown when the racing form moved there. And fell in love with horses about ages of 13, 14. I came to it kind of late. Had a backyard horse. I kind of taught myself, took riding lessons, and then from that point, I started galloping horses at Belmont Park in the mornings before school. And then eventually my dad sent me to work in France on summers, you know, to learn how to, you know, break babies, I worked in Normandy in France, and then I had an opportunity to ride as an amateur rider. Fast forward 2000, I was offered the job to run the National HBPA. Moved here to Lexington to do that, and did that for about 10 years, and then came over to BCTC to run the equine program. I'm working on some ideas for a Derby-themed cartoon. Again, it's that balance between, you know, what is topical. You know, I'm not afraid to draw a cartoon on something that's maybe a little bit controversial, but at the same time, you have to mix that up with this kind of like, if you see something like super funny that happens on a day-to-day basis at the racetrack, you know, you got to do those as well. So that's the balance that I'm going to try to strike, and hopefully, you know, the readers will respond.
Thanks for watching part 1 of our series with Remi Bellocq. Be sure to subscribe to the TDN to see the rest of the series.